5 signs God is calling you to a new purpose. Have you ever felt that emptiness, like something is missing but you don't quite know what it is? Have you ever caught yourself thinking, am I on the right path? Is there something bigger waiting for me? If so, you're not alone. Many people find themselves at this very moment of questioning. The truth is, God, in His infinite wisdom, uses these moments of uncertainty to call those who are ready for something new, something greater. The divine call, often silent and subtle, can come when we least expect it. It's like a gentle breeze that starts blowing softly in the middle of a storm. Perhaps you're going through a period of discouragement, feeling like life isn't going where you imagined it would. This emptiness might be a sign that God is preparing you for a deep transformation. The feeling of not fitting in where you are anymore, of no longer identifying with the old routines or people around you, may be the first sign that He's calling you to a new purpose. What if I told you that what you're going through right now might be the opportunity to discover a new purpose in your life? No matter how lost or confused you feel, God's path for you is being prepared, and the transformation begins right at these moments of uncertainty. If you feel something is missing, that there's a bigger mission to fulfill, then this is the perfect moment to listen and reflect on what God has in store for you. God does not abandon His children in times of difficulty. On the contrary, it's in times of solitude and search that He draws closer, preparing the ground for a fresh start. No matter how lost you may feel, God could be calling you to something extraordinary. And the good news is, if you open your heart, He will reveal this new purpose clearly and transformatively. Sign 1. The feeling of dissatisfaction and discontent with your current life. Have you ever thought that the dissatisfaction you feel in your heart isn't just a passing discomfort? It's not uncommon to feel lost or unmotivated when life seems to have no purpose or direction anymore. This feeling of discontent may actually be the first sign that God is preparing something greater for you. Sometimes, daily life can become a boring routine where nothing seems to bring satisfaction anymore. Relationships, work, even the small things that used to make you smile now feel empty. This is when many begin to question, am I fulfilling my purpose? That emptiness you feel isn't an accident, it's an invitation. God may be calling you to a transformation, something you never thought possible. He uses that discomfort as a sign that something greater is waiting for you. In the Bible, we clearly see how God uses dissatisfaction to lead His children to new paths. One example is the story of Moses. He was comfortable in the Egyptian court, but there was something in his heart that troubled him, a restlessness about the situation of his people. When he found himself face to face with a reality he could no longer ignore, that's when God called him to be the liberator of Israel. Moses had no idea how to do this, but the discomfort in his heart led him to seek answers, and in doing so, he found the divine purpose for his life. If you find yourself dissatisfied with your current life, not knowing exactly why, it may be a sign that God is calling you to something new. Dissatisfaction often arises when we drift away from God's purpose, and it's at this moment that He begins to prepare the ground for something new. This is the time to look within and reflect on what God really wants for your life. Dissatisfaction can be the first step to your spiritual awakening. Don't see it as something negative, but as an opportunity. God hasn't abandoned you. He's calling you to something greater. What you see as discomfort, God sees as preparation for something grand. So, instead of despairing or settling, seek to listen to God's voice. He may be guiding you to a new path, a new purpose, where your dissatisfaction will turn into full fulfillment. If you're ready to explore more about the signs God is giving you for a new purpose, subscribe to our channel and follow every step of this transformational journey. Sign 2. A constant inner voice whispering the new path. Sometimes, in the rush of life, have you ever felt a soft, almost imperceptible voice calling your attention? It's not the voice of the world, nor the voice of your own thoughts, but a deep voice that comes from within you. This whisper is God's voice, often silent, but unmistakable, and it could be the sign that He's guiding you to something new. God doesn't usually manifest Himself with loud thunder or storms, but with a soft whisper, as we see in 1 Kings 19 verses 11 to 13. After the storm and earthquake, Elijah heard God's voice in a gentle breeze. This moment teaches us that, often, in the midst of life's chaos, God speaks to us in a calm, clear way. If you're feeling that whisper in your heart, it's time to pay attention to it. This calling can come in many forms. It could be an idea that suddenly pops up, a new desire, or a sense that something in your life needs to change. When God calls you to a new purpose, He plants these signs in your heart in a unique way. Sometimes, this calling challenges us to step out of our comfort zone, to do something we never imagined. For example, Noah heard from God that he should build an ark, even though he didn't fully understand why. He trusted God's voice, and that changed history. If you're hearing that whisper, maybe it's time to trust that calling and take the first step, even if the path seems uncertain. God is calling you to something greater, and He will be with you every step of the way. Now, if you feel that you're hearing God's whisper, write in the comments below, "I'm hearing God's voice and ready to follow the new path." Sign 3. Unexpected changes and surprises along the way. Life has a funny way of surprising us, doesn't it? Sometimes, we're comfortable with the way things are, thinking we know what the future holds, and suddenly, something unexpected happens. Changes come, and they can push us out of our comfort zone in ways that make us question everything. However, these changes, often seen as obstacles, can be signs that God is leading us to something bigger. It's common to try to avoid change, preferring the safety of what we know, even if that known doesn't bring us satisfaction anymore. But what if you knew that these unexpected changes could be a way God is pushing you to the next level of your purpose? In the book of Acts, we see the story of Saul, who went from being a persecutor of Christians to one of the greatest apostles of the New Testament. His conversion was an abrupt and unexpected change. Saul was blinded by the light of Christ, and in a moment of crisis, he found his true purpose. These changes don't happen to destroy us, they happen to reshape us. When everything seems to go wrong, and the path we plan begins to crumble, it's possible that God is calling us to something new, something we couldn't have reached without going through this process. Unexpected changes are often the beginning of a new journey that will lead us to a better place than we imagined. Think about how Esther's life suddenly changed when she was chosen as queen, without ever expecting it. God placed her in a strategic position to save her people, and all of this happened because of an unexpected change in her path. Likewise, the surprises in our lives may be the means by which God places us exactly where we need to be. Don't fear changes. They may feel uncomfortable, but often they're signs that God is moving you to something greater. Instead of resisting, embrace the uncertainty, knowing that God is guiding your steps and preparing something new for you. Sign 4. Awakening skills or talents you never noticed before. Have you ever stopped to think that maybe God has placed talents and skills inside of you that are still asleep? Sometimes we focus so much on our limitations or what we can't do that we forget to look at what we are truly capable of. It's in this moment of searching for a new purpose that these talents start to awaken. When God calls us to a new path, He often reveals gifts and abilities we never imagined having. Often, these talents emerge unexpectedly when we are more vulnerable or more willing to listen to God's voice. Sometimes, what starts as a simple interest or curiosity can turn into a skill that will change our lives. The Bible talks about how we are created by God with purpose and unique abilities, Ephesians 2 verse 10. This means that, no matter how you see yourself right now, God has already placed everything inside of you that you need to fulfill your mission. Remember David. Before becoming the king of Israel, he was just a simple shepherd. He never imagined that his skills in playing the harp and fighting lions and bears would prepare him to defeat a giant like Goliath. David's talent for music and his courage were key to his transformation from a young shepherd to a leader of God's people. Sometimes, the skills God awakens in us aren't immediately seen as preparation, but they are. Maybe you're starting to realize that you have skills in areas you never considered before. Perhaps you've always had a talent for teaching, for communicating, or even for leadership, but never noticed it until now. Or maybe you have an artistic, musical, or counseling gift that, until today, was hidden, waiting for the right moment to bloom. When you begin to hear God's call for a new purpose, He starts to open your eyes to the talents that were waiting to be used for His glory. If you're feeling this awakening within you, it's time to embrace these talents and let them grow. God gave you these skills so you can use them in His work, to impact the people around you and fulfill your divine purpose. If you're noticing talents and abilities you never thought you had, hit the like button on this video. It helps spread this message and inspires others to discover their own gifts. Sign 5. A deep peace, even in the midst of uncertainty. Have you ever felt like you were in an emotional storm, where everything around you seems to be falling apart, but somehow, an inexplicable peace still prevails inside you? It may seem contradictory, but this peace is one of the greatest signs that God is working in your life, even when circumstances don't make sense. When life is full of uncertainties and challenges, and you find yourself without clear answers, this inner peace can be the sign that God is guiding your steps toward His purpose. The Bible talks about a peace that goes beyond human understanding. In Philippians 4 verse 7, we are reminded that the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. This peace doesn't come from our circumstances, but from trusting in God. Even when anxiety and doubts try to take over, this divinely inspired peace protects us, gives us strength, and allows us to see beyond the difficulties. This kind of peace is a true gift from God. It doesn't mean we won't face difficulties, but that, in the midst of them, we can rest in His sovereign control. For example, think about Jesus during the storm at sea. His disciples were in panic, but He was calmly sleeping in the boat. When awakened, He calmed the storm with one word. This is the kind of peace God wants to offer you, the ability to stay calm and trusting, even when the world around you is out of control. Perhaps you are going through a time of great uncertainty. It might be a career change, a health problem, or even a family conflict that seems unsolvable. In that moment, God is inviting you to trust Him. When you feel this peace, even without knowing what the future holds, it's a clear sign that God is by your side, guiding your steps. He offers you this peace not as an absence of problems, but as confidence in His constant presence, strengthening you to face any challenge. If you're feeling this peace in your heart, even in the midst of uncertainty, know that it's a confirmation that God is working in your life and preparing you for a greater purpose. He hasn't abandoned you. He's with you, sustaining you every step of this journey. 7. How to respond to God's call and live your new purpose. We've reached the crucial point in our journey. After recognizing the signs God is giving you, from dissatisfaction with your current life to the peace He offers in the midst of uncertainty, the question is, how will you respond to His call for your new purpose? The first step is to understand that by hearing these signs, you're not being called to a life of conformity, but to a life of transformation and fulfillment in His divine purpose. Responding to God's call isn't about having all the answers or knowing exactly what to do right away. Often, God calls us to take a step of faith, even when the path ahead is still unclear. Remember Abraham, who when called by God, didn't know where he was going, but had the courage to follow. He didn't wait until everything was planned. He simply trusted God and moved forward. That trust is the key to taking the first step toward your new purpose. The second step is prayer. Start praying, asking God to clearly reveal His purpose for your life. Prayer is a sincere conversation with God, and through it, we align our hearts with His. It's not just about asking for something, but about listening and discerning what He wants for us. God may reveal things gradually, but the willingness to listen and trust the process is key. And remember, God's answer won't always be immediate, but He never fails to reveal what we need to know. Third, be willing to prepare. God doesn't just call, He also prepares. If you feel God calling you to something new, it may be time to seek personal growth. This might mean studying His Word more, learning new skills, or getting more involved in your faith community. Preparation is essential to fulfilling the purpose God has for you. As Paul says in 2 Timothy 2 verse 15, do your best to present yourself to God as one approved, a worker who does not need to be ashamed. Lastly, have patience. The path to your new purpose may be long and challenging, but God is with you every step of the way. Remember that the process is as important as the destination. Trust that God is working in you through every step of this journey, shaping you to become the person He has called you to be. And if you enjoyed this content, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any videos. See you next time.